Greetings and welcome, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, to Black World TV, the new black media, your black and intelligent news source. Black World TV, the new black media. Family, the picture you're looking at right now that's explaining that the Bloomington mayor responds to the news of an attempted lynching on the 4th of July. I want you to see how fast the Bloomington mayor responded to this attempted lynching versus Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General, who has failed to charge the police for Breonna Taylor's killing. But I digress. Family, two men were charged Friday in an assault case against a black man who was seen in a viral video being held against his will in the woods near an Indiana lake on the 4th of July. Sean Purdy, that's P-U-R-D-Y, and Jerry Cox are charged with various crimes, including confinement and battery against a 36-year-old Bloomington, Indiana man, Vaughxx Booker, pictured on the right. According to the Indianapolis Star, Monroe County Prosecutor Eric Oliphant has filed 2 active warrants for the 2 men and says Booker will face no charges. Well, that should go without saying. The victim is Booker. I tell you, these white supremacists, they make justice look so hard, but yet mess it up every time. But I digress. Purdy is charged with criminal confinement, battery resulting in injury, and intimidation, all felonies. Cox is charged with aiding or causing criminal confinement, felony battery, resulting injury, intimidation, and 2 misdemeanor counts of battery. You know, what stands out to me, and it stands out to all black people in America, is that Native Black Americans can never, it seems, get true justice. Not one time does this so-called justice system, and I've referred to this before, that it's not a justice system, that it's actually a racial system. This racial system has a hard time filing hate crimes against white people. Let me say that again, because we see it over and over and over and over again, that this country, this racist country we live in, that, by the way, Native Black Americans built, we can never seem to get true justice when it comes to hate crimes, because this so-called justice system that we know has nothing to do with justice, it's a racial system, you never seem to be able to file hate crimes against white criminals, against white perpetrators, especially when it's an actual racist situation that happens. It's like you cannot seem to get it right ever when it comes to real black justice. We're going to change that, though. So it says that Booker said that he and his friends were visiting a public beach on Lake Monroe outside Bloomington to join a gathering when a group of white men said they were on private property and began following them. Some of the men became belligerent, he said, when he approached. And why would a black man approach a group of white folks? This brother is so stupid, though. But when he approached sober-seeming group members to see if he could smooth things over a bit, the confrontation escalated. And that's what you're about to see in this video. The video posted on social media shows a group of white men holding Booker to a tree as his friends plead with him to release him. In the video, one man shouts at the camera, "You happy about this, you nappy-headed bitch? You and your 5 white friends." As Booker's friends leave, one of the men follows, shouting, "Those black boys want to start it all." Family, let's take a look at the video.
Go, please, let him go. Please let him go. We're going to as soon as you let him go. I'm going to.
I'm John Hamilton. I'm the mayor of Bloomington, Indiana. Sunday night, I saw videos on social media that showed a member of my community, somebody I know, experiencing just horrific violence, attacks, terrifying to watch, no doubt 100 times worse to be in, terrible racial epithets, conflict, really angering me, also infuriating me. I learned through the video and then subsequent activities that there had been a conflict not in my city, but near my city at a lake in a state-controlled area of this kind of awful racial hatred erupting.
That's what you get!
I do know Vaughx Booker. I've been mayor for 5 years, and I've probably known him for 5 years, and he's been a very active member of the community. I care a great deal, and I want to help my residents have justice. And of course, we want to stop this kind of thing from ever happening. It's a terrible reminder that racism, we're a very progressive city, democratic city, progressive, liberal. We believe in inclusion, but in our community, we know we have hate incidents every year. We know there's racism in our community and around our community, and we can't pretend that's not the case. I don't know what would have happened in the woods around Lake Monroe if there hadn't been other individuals there, if there hadn't been a video taken. We pray that any terrible episode, horrific interaction like this ends at least with as little violence as possible. There's obviously violence, but I don't know what would have happened.
Now, family, as hard as it is to even watch the video or listen to it, even though we're familiar with these barbaric and savage acts from certain white people in America, and I do mean savage, very savage and barbaric, when we witness these type of things, what stood out to me is how this black man, Vaughx Booker, seemed to not fight for his life. I was shocked by that. No, let me take that back. That's what they call Stockholm Syndrome, right? Right. Well, that was very disturbing to watch him not fight for his life. But nonetheless, they say that Mr. Booker was the first to throw punches. Mr. Booker was then restrained, not beaten. Restrained for his own safety and safety of others. He then started race baiting, then stuck around after his alleged near lynching to video his attackers. Now, to me, none of this makes sense. He needs to tell the truth about punching people and apologize to the people he has harmed. So basically, it sounds like they're trying to come up with excuses. They're trying to come up with ways to put the onus on Mr. Booker. Yeah, because it says attorneys for one of the men in the video claimed Monday that Booker was the instigator. Can you believe that? That they tried to actually lynch this man, and they have their white lawyers, and we know lawyers, they're so dirty and filthy and foul. You know, they'll get the most guilty off if they can. All you have to do is pay them a dollar figure, and yeah, they'll get you off, even when you're guilty as fuck. But nonetheless, this attorney says that Mr. Booker needs to tell the truth about punching people and apologize to the people he has harmed and to all real victims of racism because he has diminished them. Said four attorneys, said four different attorneys, mind you, representing Purdy. Quote, also, those who were there with Mr. Booker and know the truth should also come out and tell the truth. Mr. Booker was the instigator and agitator. There was no problem until Mr. Booker returned for no legitimate reason. He was the aggressor and became threatening. Mr. Booker was the first to throw punches. Mr. Booker was then restrained, not beaten. And I did read this earlier, but I was trying to put context to this. They say for his own safety and the safety of others, he then started race baiting. Then stuck around after his alleged near lynching to video his attackers. So basically, not only are they saying that Mr. Booker here, the black man, started it all, they're saying that he threw all the punches, he instigated it, he's the race baiter. I don't know about you, family, but I watched the character of Mr. Booker. Nothing in the video shows him like that, but the videos definitely show the white folks being the aggressors. Now see, that's the key here. We have the white folks being the aggressors on video, but there's no evidence on video of what they claim that Mr. Booker was the instigator. Do you catch that trick? That technology that they try to pull all the time? It's called, and I'm going to refer to what Johnny Cochran, may he rest in power, I'm going to refer to what he calls it when cops get on the stand and testify. They test-a-lie. And that's exactly what these white criminal thugs, racists, who tried to lynch this black man in 2020, that's exactly what they're doing. They're test-a-lying. Test-a-lying on their behalf to get away with a hate crime. Oh, a hate crime that the authorities fail to charge them with. A hate crime that the authorities fail to charge them with. But if it's a black man involved in a situation with a white person, you know what they do? They say it's a hate crime. That's the kind of racial system that we live in. We need to replace their racial system with true justice. They don't know what that looks like at all. It's apparent and obvious. What's funny, well, not really funny, but what's interesting is how this mayor came out and said that he knows Mr. Booker. And the fact that he knows Mr. Booker, I'm sure he knows that the claims that those 4 attorneys for the other side are making, that he's the aggressor, this lawyer, this mayor knows that that is false and incorrect and a flat out lie.